Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is May the 29th, 2018. Strong hand, long-term thinking, unconfiscatable. All right, check out the link section below. Everything I talked about in this video is mentioned below. Get your Trezor, your t-shirts, Ledger Nano discount codes. I'm going to be in Calgary in early July. Check that out. Boca Raton, the event, June the 12th. Check that out. It's all linked to below. I just got back. I'm in Bergen, Norway, obviously. And we just had a great meetup here. I actually spoke like nonstop for 90 minutes. And it was question and answers. It was a blast. And then I stuck around for 90 more minutes. So it was a 3-hour hangout. A lot of people were there. From what I could tell, it was a pretty advanced audience. Didn't seem like there were a lot of beginners there. Most of the people were from Bergen. There were a few outsiders that were in town that came out, and it was really great to meet some longtime viewers of mine. I was surprised by one guy who was there. I didn't know he was going to be there. It was great to meet you. And then there were the dudes that I expected to be there, and those are awesome guys too. I linked below to a picture that someone took. A lot of people were taking pictures afterwards, so you can see it was a really fun time here in Bergen tonight. And you know, if you're in one of these modern, in Norway is a very modern country, very high standard of living, beautiful country. And I think a lot of the people, when you go to one like this, you get some, I mean, you get you get an energy. You feel the energy surrounding the community here, and how cryptocurrency is definitely here to stay. And there are a lot of knowledgeable people here in the second largest city in Norway, and it's not going anywhere, and people are excited, and people are knowledgeable, and people are in motion. So again, I encourage you, wherever city you're in, to have a meetup, to meet up with other people. It's really encouraging. Everybody has a good time. You know, invite outsiders to come. You never know who's visiting your city. Not everybody here in YouTube land travels around for whatever reason. I think it's great to travel around. So you never know who's going to be. You never know when I'm going to be in your city next. So who knows? We're going to meet one day. You don't know who you are now. I don't know who you are now, but we're going to meet. You know who I am as you're watching, and it will be a true pleasure to meet. But you know, there was one guy tonight who was from Palo Alto originally. He told a story. This is a very interesting story. It's going to deal with what we're going to talk about with lost coins, because later on I'm going to give you an estimate on how many lost coins are actually out there in Bitcoin. Well, anyway, this one guy from who was in Palo Alto, at least he was there. He said 8 years ago, someone gave him some Bitcoin on a phone of his, an old phone, and he has totally lost the phone now. And he wanted to know, figure out some ways of getting this Bitcoin back. And he didn't say how many Bitcoin it was. It makes me think it was probably more than one. I just said, you know, find the phone. You got to find the phone first. If you find that phone and it's more than one Bitcoin that's on there, I mean, you'll be able to pay someone quite a bit to find it, and it'll be worth your while to pay them that amount too. You know, if you're able to get me my 3 Bitcoin from here, you're going to get paid $5,000 or something like that. Okay. Because right now the dude's not getting it, but it kind of brought me back a little bit. If you're in, you know, Palo Alto, which is the center of Silicon Valley, and he said it might have happened in Sunnyvale. The point is, it was in the center of Silicon Valley. I mean, you get the tech there before anyone. So it makes me wonder how many really old school people who were just involved in technology back then, in the belly of the beast, got one Bitcoin put onto their cell phone for the heck of it. And now it's 8 years later, and they are just like, oh my God, how do I figure this situation out now? So it was great meeting this guy tonight. Kind of put a real face on the lost Bitcoin crowd. and find your phone, man, and talk to some people. And also, we were wondering, he couldn't even remember the company that gave him it, who was creating wallets back then. He said, if anyone out there who's watching this has any insight, if this story sparks any bit of like memory for them, email me at adam@tresorhelp.com. And remember, check out disruptmeister.com. Follow me on Twitter at TechBot, and of course, steam it at BitcoinMeister, and pound that like button, people. And yeah, it was really great to what was I going to say? No, it was great questions tonight. Really great questions. Let me see. There was another guy there who was a Bcash fan, and that was interesting. And it made me think. I talked earlier about how I'm going to be in Oslo in a few days, and it seems like there's some Bcash people out there. There was a Bcash guy here today, and he was definitely into his Bcash. So another guy brought up something very interesting. He said to me, he's like, I would be down with this Bcash stuff if they were a friendly fork, if they didn't go about this in an unfriendly way, that, King of the Trolls tries to make it out to be Bitcoin. If King of the Trolls wasn't trying to do that, trying to say this was the real Bitcoin, I would be like, yeah, dude, this is what the guy was saying. The guy was saying, he would be cool with Bcash. And it just got me thinking. I'm like, what if Bcash was just a totally friendly fork? They could have done it. They can still go about it, and they can still change their ways. And I think a lot of people will jump on their bandwagon and say, you know what? You want to do this coffee coin type of thing? Good for you. You're using the Bitcoin name. Good for you. You're not saying you're Bitcoin. Good for you. We want you to do better than Dash. I mean, there'll be plenty of people who would, but just that it's kind of got that toxic start to it. And then there's this, it's among some people in the Bitcoin community, they're just very suspicious of anyone in the Bcash community. I'm not one of those people. I know they're good people in the Bcash community. But this guy in Norway, he made me think tonight. So again, that's why going to these events can really make you think. And here in the first world, in the very developed world, they don't need Bitcoin yet. So it is interesting to see how they are using it and thinking about it. And, it's a store of value for many. And there were plenty of hardcore Bitcoin people, and there were people that were had their minds open to other coins too, and were traders. So there were all sorts of people. And again, I told my stories from Zimbabwe, where they actually need Bitcoin now. So anyway, that was good. So this Bitcoin Core joke of a coin, which is just kind of a poke at Bcash from the people who made Bclassic. I do link to a Bitcoinist article that gives a little bit more depth to the story, should we say? I'm still not exact. It becomes a big tongue twister. It's a fork of a fork of a fork, or is it really Bclassic, or is it just a wallet? Whatever it is kind of hilarious, and people are paying $10 for it or $9 for it. We'll see how it develops. It's an interesting take. It's a peaceful way. If someone is trying to like paint Bitcoin in a bad light and use a different term for it, then you just take ownership of that term. You take ownership of the term Bitcoin Core. So whenever they talk about it, it's kind of more of a joke now, and it might pump up an altcoin. Who knows how these? I've heard of altcoins pump for reasons that are less logical than that. All right. So speaking of pumps, everybody in the United States of America, people got back to work today, and immediately, the price of Bitcoin just goes up $200 or something like that. And it's funny because you have these people who are traders, and dude, you're putting your money on the line when all of a sudden something can just pump just because a bunch of people got back to work in the United States. And that might have not caused the whole pump of the cryptocurrency market today, but it might have. And it just shows you how fickle these markets are. Just because people came back from their vacation, you're either going to lose a lot of money or make a lot of money, because if you're a trader and you're playing, and you're a gambler and betting. So if you're a short-term gambler, I mean, yeah, good luck. You're making money and losing money based on people coming back from their Memorial Day drunk fest. It's your choice. I have a strong hand. I'm a holder. I think long-term 2020. Yesterday in the chat, a guy named Kaza Barkley said something very nice. Thanks, Adam. Very inspiring. You keep me focused on having a strong hand. I am going to set and write down my Bitcoin goals. I think that might have been a woman, actually, Kaza Barkley. Who knows? But yeah, that's actually a really good idea, dude or dudette. Write down your Bitcoin goals. Why not? That kind of makes it more real and makes your hand stronger. I never thought of that. Old school on your part. And also, when you're writing that stuff down, take that pencil out of your hand and pound that freaking like button. All right. Here we go. Here's a tweet from Matt Odell. And this is, you got to check out this tweet because it shows a chart. And here it says, our final estimate from looking at the UTXO age distribution is that between 3 and 3.8 million Bitcoin are lost. Whoa. There are currently 17 million Bitcoin in existence. Using their estimates of lost coins brings that number down to 13.2 to 14 million Bitcoin. So dudes, if you have 14 Bitcoin, you're in great shape because there's probably only 14 million Bitcoin that are not lost right now. At the same time, that dude from Palo Alto, his Bitcoin is part of that 14 million. Ouch. But dude can still find his phone. Find that phone, man. Find that phone. But no, this is interesting because again, seems like a pretty scientific study of into how many Bitcoin are really lost. It's not just some guesstimate. So between 3 and 3.8 million. So there's really only 14 million Bitcoin out there at most. Okay, let's say that's the thing. So get yourself 1.4 Bitcoin, man. Then you're moving right up the rankings there. Okay, the London Independent, someone sent me this over Twitter. What's it say? UK hospital launches rehab program for Bitcoin addiction. Experts at Scottish Rehab Center say for Bitcoin addiction. Experts at a Scottish Rehab Center say crypto trading holds appeal for problem gamblers. Yep. Problem gamblers and Bitcoin traders. There's a big crossover there. Big crossover there. Come on. Come on, guys. This crypto trading can be gambling and you can have a problem. 1-800-GAMBLERS. When you're in Las Vegas or Atlantic City, they have these billboards that say, these public service billboards, I guess they have to buy. The government makes you have these in these cities. 1-800-GAMBLING or whatever it is. I don't know if people actually call that. Made me think of that. But no, there is no 1-800 number for your crypto gambling addiction. You just got to get off of it cold turkey with your strong freaking hands, dude. And just think long term. Do not be impulsive because you're losing a lot playing around with your 6th tier altcoins and whatnot. So here's dream big. I always tell people to dream big. And the guy MGTOW Money had another video that came out recently, or maybe I watched it today, and he's talking about network marketing, which can be like a big Ponzi scheme, big pyramid scheme lots of times. But there are legitimate network marketing companies out there. And he said 96% of network marketing people don't make any money. And some saying 99% of people in network marketing. And I linked to the video below. So I know there are a lot of guys out there that want to be their own bosses. You're not your own boss when you're doing a network marketing. You're selling a product, and the way you make money is by selling the business, is by, getting other people to be under you. And this guy explains it all. And you got to have a salesperson mentality. It's not that easy. And if you're here on the internet, wondering about that stuff, and you never get out, you never go to meetups, you don't even know that many people, there's nothing wrong with that. But you're not going to be a good salesperson. You're not going to be able to do this network marketing type of thing. It's a shortcut. It's an easy thing. It's impulsive. Bitcoin is the real thing, dudes. All right. Bitcoin is the way you dream big. Bitcoin is the way to be your own boss. You hold it. It's that simple. And I know it doesn't seem that exciting. It doesn't seem as exciting as, selling this new awesome product and convincing people to work under you and to have underlings. No, you don't need to have underlings. You don't need to have a pyramid beneath you. And some people are like, why are you even talking? Why are you comparing network marketing and Bitcoin? Because there are a lot of guys, it boils down to this, like, well, should I get into Cutco knives or should I buy Bitcoin? And to me, it's so freaking obvious. Dude, do the simple Bitcoin, don't you? And that's how you dream big. You're going to be your own boss through Bitcoin, through patience, through not being impulsive. Because the other stuff, 96% of the people don't make money at the very least. All right. Truly be your own boss. And all right, you're not a salesman. It's hard to be a salesman. It takes a certain skill set to be, when I used to work in the close to corporate world, I worked for some internet companies in my day. I was just wondering about these salespeople. I'm like, how hard can it be? It's something I don't like to do, but it must not be. No, it is hard. Sales is a hard thing. It is a real skill. And it's something that hardly anyone can really do well. So don't get into it. It's not worth your while to get into it when you could just make some solid investments and live within your means, for God's sakes. And in the long run, it will work out. And Bitcoin is one of those long run type of tools that you should consider way over network marketing. Finally, CNBC. And this was inspired by Norway. This article is actually from January. It says Norway. A Tesla Model X is the country's fourth best-selling car. Subsidies, free parking, and toll-free roads are all part of the package. So when I'm running around here in Bergen, I see so many freaking Teslas. It's unbelievable. And it is because they don't have to, when the Norwegians, they're smart people, they do cost benefit analysis. When they add up all the discounts they get for buying this high-end luxury car, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's the same as buying a Mercedes or whatever, a Peugeot or what's it called? One of those little hybrid Priuses. So again, I'm not a big fan of government subsidies or whatever, but if you can complain about the government subsidies, or if you're stuck in Norway, take advantage. You're not going to have to pay your road tolls anymore, and some import taxes are gone. And so a lot of people they're smart people here. They are definitely smart people here. They're peaceful people here, and they're buying Teslas because it's worth their while, and they're living it up. And a Tesla is a good car. And that's, Elon Musk, again, people like to rip on the dude. That is a big dreamer there. That is a guy. I like those type of guys that, they dream big. He doesn't have it. They don't advertise at all either. He doesn't go about things the traditional way. And so, if a country like Norway is going to play into his game, then I guess they're going to play into his game, and they're going to hook him up, and he's going to become bigger and bigger. Because he wants to go to Mars. That dude, and everything he does is making money toward getting toward that goal. And it's really awesome. So again, I've talked about, I am not a car guy at all. But my first time in a Tesla, which was a Bitcoin guy picking me up in a Tesla in Los Angeles, I'm like, I got to get my dad one of these after the 2020 halving, if I feel comfortable doing so at that time. So that's Adam's first luxury item ever. Anyway, yeah. So that's just giving you a little taste of Norway. If you're ever walking around Bergen, you're going to see a lot of Teslas, surprising amount. And this is who knows how they're going to go. Who knows how he's going to go about it in the future, spreading the Tesla around. I'm pretty sure this dude, Elon Musk, is going to change the world in just tremendous, tremendous, tremendous ways, because he's a positive and he's not a blamer. He just goes out there. He's in motion. All of us should be in motion with Bitcoin. Pound that like button. I'm Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. Check out the notes section below. I'll say hi to you dudes in the chat. See ya. Bye.